Okay, so Mac project is back. Got some oil seals that I ordered. And that's supposed to fit, yep. So I gotta get that one out. You can see here, here's the original seal, and compare it to the new one here, like the entire center is missing out of it. It's really weird. Never seen that before. Interesting. Okay, so we got the seal out, and the aftermarket that I have is an SKF, and it's weird. That's the code. That's not the one I ordered, but it's a metric seal and it has the right dimensions. It's 35 by 17 by 7. 35 by 17 by 7. It's a big seal. I feel like this is not necessarily going to drive in that easy. So we'll see how this goes. This ball peen hammer hopefully will do the trick. Let's get some grease here. Oh, there it is. Just gonna put a little bit of grease in around the garter spring to keep it in place so it doesn't pop out. Because that would not be good. That garter spring is what holds the seal tight on the shaft. Put a little bit around there that might help it slide in. And then hopefully my trusty pop can here is going to do the trick. I think it will. I hope it will. Put that down in over the taper. And then turn it into a cone. And then try and carefully slide this on. Catch anything, because that would defeat the entire purpose altogether. Alright, there we go. And you want to get this going straight. If it doesn't start straight, well, you're screwed right before you get started. That's critical. We've got a big washer. And this one should be easy once I get started because it just goes flush. Sometimes they're countersunk, but not this one. This one goes flush. And then my seal driver, which is just a pipe nipple and a cap. This is, I've got two different sizes. I've got a 1/2 inch size copper pipe, and then I've got this one here, 3/4 for the big saws. And then hopefully this is going to drive in. Check my work. It is driving in. carefully pull that pop can out of there now without hopefully cutting the lip. And then hopefully continue to drive that seal down now that it's past that lip. Still like up a little bit on this side. I don't know why that is. There we go. Now she's driven perfectly. That was actually a pretty easy seal to drive. All right, so there we go. New seal. Next step is going to be to get the clutch back on it, flywheel back on it, and see if it'll fire up and run. And then at that point, go ahead and tear it all apart and put new rings in it. All the rings and everything showed up here today. Super fast. It came from Greece. Man, like that was literally like a week. I can't buy stuff from the US through eBay International Shipping to get here within 3 weeks, but they can send it from Greece in like lightning speed. I'm telling you, eBay International Shipping blows. It's horrible. But anyway, that's a whole other rant. T-7. And I also got these other ones that I found. Daymar. They're another metric seal. And they were a good price. And then the seal for the other side. And then the other side, the ignition side, is 50663. And that's metric dimensions of 17 by 30 by 5, which makes more sense because the 7 is a pretty thick seal. And this is a CRSKF 6763. Pretty available seal. Anyhow, okay, next step, put this back together and see if we can get this thing to actually run. Okay, moment of truth. I've got my priming fuel. I'm just going to prime it through the carb and see if just putting an oil seal in is enough to actually make this saw run properly. I'm guessing it's a yes, it will. Put the clutch and everything back together. Put the original flywheel, coil, points, condenser, everything all back on. Got a broken fin here, drop the damn thing. But for all intents and purposes, this is exactly the way I received the saw. Well, with actually, sorry, I put on an HL carburetor. I'll try and see if I can draw fuel from the tank maybe later today. It's like 7 in the morning here, so I don't really want to make a whole bunch of noise. I just want to see if it'll pop off and run. If it'll run and pop off on a prime, should be able to get it to draw fuel and run through the HL carb. So, let's see what we got here. sure I flooded the living shit out of it. Or we got other problems. Just gonna let it sit for a little bit and then we'll go at it again. So big knucklehead move. I just decided to pull the spark plug off and see if I had spark, because I didn't check that after putting the ignition system back on. And I think that I just had the saw turned off. So, you know, first thing to check is the off switch, make sure it's on. And see what we got now. It's probably flooded, it probably still won't start. But we'll give it a go. Okay, that's something. That's all I'm going to do for now because it's super loud. We got a running saw. Woo. Next step is to put some fuel in the tank and get it to run for a little bit. I don't know when the last time is this saw ran. But yeah, we'll see if she'll run off the carb. That's going to be the next challenge, is to make sure I got this HL carb lined up properly, that the impulse is lined up with the impulse port for the crank. That's the kind of tricky thing, because there's a bit of movement on these carbs when they bolt up to the flange that you could potentially misalign it and not get that proper impulse and be able to pump fuel. And then yeah, I'm pretty sure we got a good working saw, so woo, cool. We got a working 440 here, and I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so we just gassed this bad boy up. I want to check the needle settings. And the needle that is closest to the intake is the low. So I closed it completely. I'm going to go half, 1, and like not even a quarter. Just a little bit. Now the high jet. It was what? Just a little over. Oh, that's a really awkward. Half, 1. And what do we got here for the idle screw? Is just touching. Okay. Let's see what we got here now. I want to see this thing fire up. It's turned on. Will you start and idle? Please do, please do. Fuel. I don't know if you are. Are you pulling fuel? I got prime this thing, I think. Because they don't have the choke hooked up, or else I would just go that route. Route. Give her 5 or 6 of them good ones there. And give her another go. Pulling fuel. I think we're close. We're close. Set up too rich. Wow, son of a. That's like a It's like a timing thing almost. It's kind of what it seems like. Huh. Okay, well, you know, it ran, but she's a long way off from running good. I'd say we get some more issues, but we're going in the right direction.